Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
Dear friends, first of all we must know the definition persons that include an individual, proprietorship, partnership, company, maybe the government company or the public limited or the private limited. LLP, it's a new function in our country, Hindu Undivided Family Cooperative Society Association of Persons, or the AOP, and the governments, either central government, state governments or the local bodies. Majority in our syllabus we learn about the proprietorship, partnership as well as the company. So today we are going to learn about the trial balance sheet related with three of these entities. First one, we follow the double entry book system. Double entry book system is the transaction under which we record each of the economical or the commercial transactions in two ways that affects two of the different accounts with the same amount. The business passes the journal or the entry of each and every economical and commercial transaction made by the business. One account will be debited and another account will be credited by the same amount, and the journal or the entry will be posted at the required accounts at the ledgers. It certainly ensures that if there is no arithmetic mistake while keeping the books over a period of time or during a year in books of accounts, the trial balance sheet is going to be tallied. It is certain if you have not committed any arithmetic mistake while keeping the books of accounts, then your balance sheet or the trial balance sheet is going to be tallied. Next one, again on your slide, accounting procedure. We must know this accounting procedure and where we are starting the learning process of this topic. First one, in the beginning of the financial year, in the ledger, accountant will open the accounts with the help of the final balance sheet of the last financial year and mention the figures at the respective side, either at the debit side or at the credit side, as opening balance. If it is the capital or the liability, it bears the credit balance, and if it is the asset or the receivable, then it bears the debit balance. So accordingly, either the debit balance or the credit balance will be mentioned as the opening balance at the respective accounts. Again, let us see on the screen. Second one, during the financial year, journal entries to be passed for each of the economical or the commercial transactions made during the financial year and to be posted at the respective accounts at the ledger. It is the part 2. Part 3 that we are going to learn today, that is third. At the end of the financial year, the accounts in the ledgers will be closed. Some of them will be closed automatically. The sum or the total of the debit and the credit side will equal, then that account will close automatically. But some of the accounts, remaining accounts, either have the debit balance or have the credit balance. Trial balance, or it is known as trial balance sheet, will be prepared with the balances of the accounts and will get it tallied. Final statements will be prepared with the help of trial balance and adjustments. It is the process number 4. So right today we are to learn the process number 3, how to prepare the trial balance or the trial balance sheet. Let us again look on the screen. Rules of accounting. If you know and if you follow these rules very strictly, then it is very easy for each of us to prepare the trial balance or the trial balance sheet. Rule number 1, personal accounts. Debit the receiver and credit the giver. Real account, debit what comes in and credit what goes out. And the third one, nominal account, debit all expenses and losses. At the same time, we have to credit all incomes and the gains. We have very strictly we have to follow these three of the basic principles or the basic rules of the accounting. Now accounting terms, accounts and the balances. If we go through very strictly with the rules as well as certain accounting terms, then it is very easy for each of us to prepare the trial balance. First one, revenue expenditure. The definition: the payments made or outstanding that benefits the business up to 1 year is known as revenue expenditure. It bears the debit balance that include, if it has a relation with the production of the products, raw material consumed during the year, including opening stock, cash and credit purchases, as well as it will be deducted by the closing stock. Inward carriage, direct labor, machine cost including repairing and depreciation, indirect labor, factory overheads, production manager salary, etc. are the production expenses. Again, all such accounts bears the debit balance. Next one is the administrative expenditure. Office expenses, printing and stationery, postage and telegraphic charges or the telecommunication charges, salary and the allowances and perquisites to the employees, those who are working with the office or the admin department. At the same time, the depreciation for the office machine, maybe the calculators, maybe the computers, maybe the AC and some other gadgets which are very normally being used at the office. General manager's salary as well as director's remuneration and sitting fees, etc. are the administrative expenditure, and each of them bears the debit balance. Third one are the financial expenditure. Interest on borrowings or the long-term liabilities including the overdraft, cash discount allowed and financial managers or the director's salary. All these are the expenditure related with the financial activity. So, all such accounts bears the debit balance. Fourth one, sales and the distribution expenses, advertising, salesman salary, their traveling expenses, their commission either on sale or on profit, expenses for delivery van, maybe the running cost, driver salary, repairing and maintenance and depreciation, sales managers or the director's salary and perks or perquisites. All such are the expenses related with the sales and the distribution department. So all such accounts bears the debit balance. Next one, second part is the capital expenditure or the fixed expenditure or the capital. They are known as capital assets. All such assets bear the debit balance. First one, the definition: the payments made or outstanding helps the business for more than 1 year. They are known as capital expenditure or they are known as capital assets. We name it as fixed assets. Fixed and the movable or the visible, for land and building, plant and machinery, electrification, furniture and fixtures, vehicles, livestock or the animals, all such are the visible fixed assets. Second one, invisible capital assets or the fixed assets that include goodwill, patents, trademark, copyright and intellectual property rights. Next one is the intangible or the fictitious assets that include preliminary expenditure, advertised suspense account, debenture discount account and maybe the accumulated losses. All such assets bears the debit balance. Third part, that is C, revenue income. Being the income, it bears the credit balance. Amount received or accrued for the operating or the core activity of the business and returns earns on investments if investment made outside the business. Cash and credit sales, interest, dividend, rent and commission received on investments and cash discount received. All such are the revenue income for the business and that account bears the credit balance. Fourth part is the capital income or it is known as capital balance. The investments made by the owners, if they are the proprietorship firm, then single owner has invested the capital. If it is the partnership firm, then more than one partners are there and they have invested their capital into the company or the business. If it's a company, the number of shareholders have invested into the shares of the company. It is known as capital for the company and it bears the credit balance. But owner's capital, the capital invested by the owners of the business, those who own the rights to take the decisions. But the borrowed capital, they are known as the long-term liabilities. Again, if the company has issued the debentures or any business entity has enjoyed the loan facility or the public deposits or has accepted the public deposits from the general public, then all such are the long term borrowing, or they are known as long term liabilities. And again, all such capital as well as the long term liabilities bear the credit balance being the liability. Working capital is the difference between the current assets and the current liabilities. Current assets, all such current assets bears the debit balance that include cash and bank balance, stock, debtors, bills, receivables, prepaid expenditure or expenditure paid in advance, income due but yet not received or yet to be received. Current liabilities, all such current liabilities bear the credit balance that include bank overdraft or the negative balance of the current bank account, creditors, bills payables, outstanding expenses, income received in advance, etc. Now the second part is very important. It is the trial balance, but as you show or as you have seen on the slide, that it is the sheet, it is the balance sheet. It is not only the balances of the accounts, but we have to form one sheet into which we have to mention all the outstanding accounts. Some of them bears the debit balance, remaining bear the credit balance. So we will prepare the sheet and we have to manage the trial balance sheet. Now look onto the screen. In order to find out an error in the entire procedure, a business prepares a statement from the balances of various accounts at the end of the financial year or at the end of an accounting period. It may be a quarter, it may be a half year, or it may be a year, which is known as trial balance or trial balance sheet. A trial balance is a statement prepared from the totals of both sides, total of debit effects at the same time total of credit effects, as we follow the double entry book system of each account or from their balances in order to ascertain whether the account of a business written during a definite period are arithmetically correct or not. Characteristics of trial balance sheet: it is prepared on a definite date, at the most probably at the end of a definite accounting period or at the end of the year, generally at the end of the year or account as per the accounting period. It is prepared from the balances of accounts or from the totals or the debit and credit sides of each account. It is a statement, it is not an account, it is the statement. It is prepared in order to verify whether the accounts are arithmetically correct or not. The trial balance is prepared before preparing the final accounts of the business. Hence, it is a link between the ledger and the final account. This is very important. During the year, the accountant will prepare the ledger. At the end of the year, accountant will close all the accounts in the ledger. Some of them will be automatically closed. Some of them will have the balances either debit or credit. With the help of such outstanding accounts, the accountant will prepare first the trial balance sheet. If it is being tallied, that it shows that there is no arithmetic mistake, and with the help of the trial balance sheet and the adjustments, the accountant will prepare the final accounts or the financial statements. So it's a link between the ledger as well as the final accounts. Now again look onto the screen. Objectives of trial balance. Why we need to prepare the trial balance? To check whether the accounts are arithmetically correct or not. It helps to find out errors in the accounts and to rectify them in time before preparing the final statements. It gives information about the balances of various accounts of the business. It helps to prepare the final accounts of the business in time and with ease. It helps to keep an indirect check on the employees, and thereby accounts are written regularly and errors and frauds may be controlled. Please note, omission to record any transaction, manual error mentioning amounts at the journal, errors of principals, posting at wrong account but at right side can't affect the trial balance sheet. These are the common mistakes but that will not affect the balance sheet. So even there are such type of mistakes in the accounts, even then your trial balance sheet will be tallied. So it is not the affirmation, or it does not give you any confirmation that there is no mistake. It gives only the confirmation there is no arithmetical mistake. So again, the later part of your screen: error in posting with wrong figure at one of the accounts, error in totaling and or in calculating balance of accounts, posting at wrong side of the account, omission of posting the transaction at one of the accounts will affect the trial balance sheet, and it will not going to be tallied. So it will show you that there are certain mistakes in the accounts kept during the year. First of all, you have to rectify the mistake, and then you have to get it tallied, and then only with the help of the adjustment we need to prepare the final statements or the financial accounts.
Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar Open University.